Here are the 3 steps that I can help you take to become a strong, high performing man, dad, and father. All right. Hey guys, I'm Coach Matt here. Let's dive right into it. I'm going to take you through the back end, my exact process, and my approach to helping you become the strongest man and father that you can be. Let's go. And those 3 steps are right here. Step number 1 is to follow my strong food method. Step number 2 is to join the 120 Club. And step number 3 is to raise your vitality score. I'm going to walk you through each of those step by step in this video. So for step number 1, following my strong food method, what does that mean? That means that you're going to get and should be on a flexible, inclusive diet plan. How do we determine what that is for you? Well, I take a very thorough intake with all new members to the group, which includes a survey of the foods that you actually eat. Okay. Then, of course, there is a scientific formula applied to that, and I want to show you a little bit about what that looks like. Okay, you don't have to memorize any of this, but it includes considering things like the realistic rates of fat loss and how to calculate your total calories for your target body weight and how to set your macros properly depending on your goals. And also, how to order the priority of things in your program. You don't have to worry about all that. I do all of that. Okay. But then, of course, I don't just follow a formula and a survey. I have to apply the coach's eye to your specific plan. Based on our conversations, I need to make some adjustments. It has to fit your schedule. It has to be practical. You have to be able to follow it, right? So ultimately, at the end, what you get is a personalized plan that's designed to allow you to eat more food, not less. This is a big reason why I call it the strong food method. You're going to be able to eat more, more of these things that you see here, including some of these things and even a few of these things in red. So you're going to be eating lots of food on my plans because it's flexible and inclusive as opposed to being restrictive. This is a sample plan now that you'll see. I'll just give a quick scan over it from an actual client. Now you'll see here, I'm going to black out his name after this video, but you'll see that it has targets and flexible ideas for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But if you're looking at these foods here, these are the kinds of foods that he liked to eat, okay? There's a lot of Mediterranean stuff in here, and of course, everybody's plan gets some cheat sheets and tips, and this is basically a 3-page document that you can, use as a template throughout your day and your week, okay? So, the other parts that are key about the strong food method are that there are no good and bad foods, no rules, and no myths, okay? So we say no to that, but what we say yes to are following principles that are tried and true, and evidence and non-judgment, okay? So I'll talk briefly more about that. Basically, there's no one diet that fits everyone. There's no food that's good or bad in every scenario, right? It's all about the dose. The dose, quote unquote, makes the poison. I've talked about this in many other videos, but when you work with me, you're going to be following tried and true principles and evidence, which means that if what we're doing isn't getting results, we're going to adjust that on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, okay? And another part of the strong food method that's key is the fact that we focus on skills, habits, and compounding, not just food and macros and calories, right? These are the things, planning and prioritizing, regulating eating behaviors, and all of these things. I won't read them all. I've got many videos on all of these things that lead you to successfully basically adopting a lifestyle where becoming the strong man that you were meant to be is just who you are, and you don't even really have to think about it. You'll change the way that you think about food. You won't, be like I and many other guys used to be before we even go to eat a meal. In our minds, we have the idea that we're going to finish everything and eat a whole pie of pizza and all this stuff that I used to do and you maybe are now too. We're going to undo that negative and unhealthy thinking around food and how to eat, okay? And that's really key. So, with that said, let's talk about step number 2. What does it mean to join the 120 Club? Well, for many years I've been saying that I am going to live to 120 years old and be able to do a push-up, a pull-up, and a squat. And you can too. And that may sound like a lofty goal, but I believe that I will make it there, and you can too. And how? Well, 3 steps in this step. We're going to build muscle and mobility, okay? So yes, building muscle is very important to me. I have all kinds of programs for building muscle, and here's a sample one that you may have just seen on the previous screen. Let me just show it here. This is our June program from the group, and you can see that it's pretty short, pretty quick. You can do these workouts in 30 minutes, less maybe. You don't even need anything more than at most a kettlebell or zero equipment. And this is all stuff you could do at home with no gym. Okay. But the other thing about muscle building and strength is that you need to build mobility and full range of motion. And inside my group, I've got all kinds of 5-minute videos on mobility, general, specific for body parts like shoulder, ankle, and knee. And this is key. I'm 46. I'm in the best shape of my life. Every year I add more and more mobility to my workouts. It only takes about 10 minutes a day for me right now, but it makes me be able to run and play soccer with young guys and not get hurt, for example. No gym, no time. Oh, training your heart. Sorry, just didn't skip that. Definitely, when you're trained to join the 120 Club, you're going to be doing some training to get your heart rate into the right zones, the right amount of time per week, so that you can live long and strong. And trust me, that heart is a muscle. And of course, as you probably know, cardiovascular disease is the #1 killer of men. And if you work with me, that you are going to lower your risk greatly. Okay, you're going to get into the green zone there. Okay, no gym, no time, no problem. Yes, I showed you some 30-minute workouts just now, but I've got many workouts for busy dads that are just 5, 10, or 15 minutes long, and they can be regressed or progressed to any level. So it doesn't matter if you are not a fit athlete right now. That's all good. You're an athlete waiting to come out of your shell. Even if you're a guy who's very obese and stuck on the couch, we can get your body moving well, and that can be done in as little as 5, 10, 15 minutes a day. You can make great progress, okay? And the last piece of the puzzle with joining the 120 Club is not just about going to the gym and getting off the couch and moving your body. It's also about working in, not just working out. This is a very important aspect of physical strength and mental strength that a lot of people miss, and that includes restorative practices such as breathwork, yoga, qigong, meditation. I've got all kinds of videos inside the Vital Men's Club that help you if you want to get into any of those things. A lot of people miss this. It's very important. If we want to live long and strong, we need to take care of our energy, which leads me into step 3, raising your vitality score. Okay, what is your vitality score? Well, it's about deep health, which really is everything, right? Which includes more than just, how we look and feel at our, medical checkups and our body weight. It's about our relationships and our stress levels, and whether we have a good sense of purpose in our life, and all of these other things that support physical and mental health. They're all connected. You cannot undo them. You cannot separate them. This is an integrated model of health. And when you work with me, we work on these things like mindset, energy, if you're struggling with depression, sleep habits, recovery habits. I'm going to show you a little visual of a vitality score as well. I've done extensive work on this with myself and clients. And this is a chart of my vitality score over the years, and you can see at one point it was very, very low. And here's the thing. This is an average, basically, of scores in different key areas of life. And when one area is dragging down, if one area starts to drag, then it can drag the others down. And conversely, the opposite is true. When you begin, even if you're at a really low point, to uplift, maybe make changes in one area of life, that will begin to uplift the others, because they are indeed all connected. And these are the kinds of things that we work on, I work on with you, and we can rate them, monthly or as often as needed, and make sure that things are moving in the right direction and come up with action steps to do that, okay? So, those are the 3 steps when you work with me to becoming a strong dad: following my strong food method, joining the 120 Club physically, and 3, raising your vitality score. Now, the last thing I want to say is, if you need help with this, I invite you to join the Vital Men's Club. And that is, you've seen a little bit of it here, the place where you can lose 10 plus pounds of body fat in your first month, build a lean and strong body, create habits like I just talked about that actually stick for life, and finally feel more confident, energized, and in control. You saw a few snippets of the group just a moment ago, but in here there's me and a bunch of other guys. We have weekly meetings. I'm here for accountability. I'll show you a quick view of the classroom with all these videos on meditation, mobility, breath work, and everything you need to get your fitness going in the right direction. So the link is in my bio. I hope you'll join us. These are the 3 steps that you need to take, and you will become the strong man and father that you were meant to be. Let's go.